Hi, my name is Daniel. I compose music, and recently I released my new album titled Everest. You might wonder, why would I make such album? What was the inspiration behind it, and what was my creative process in the studio? Today I would like to talk about the main melody of this album. I would like to share with you the symbolism and reflection of the main theme, what it represents, and the hidden meaning behind every little thing in this composition. The track Everest was the first track I composed for this album, and it's the main track including all the important elements. My wife came to me one day and she mentioned something about this woman, Lenka Poláčková, who wants to summit Mount Everest without any supplementary oxygen, which would make her one of 10 women in the history to have ever achieved that. In that little casual moment, I just quickly imagined what it must feel like to have that inner strength and determination, this unshakable spirit of faith and courage. And one evening I just decided to actually imagine myself walking through the valley, across bridges, meadows, reaching the first hills, until for the first time my eyes opened to the sight of Everest. So I tried a few melodies on the piano. I always start my music with my piano, and I came up with this very simple but incredibly powerful 2-chord melody. 2 chords, short melody, nothing complicated, but it includes tones that are located in the lower part of the piano scale, and that is for the reason that seeing Everest feels big, so we need big tones. Later I found out that Lenka, the woman who wants to summit Everest, will be joined by her husband, Honza, who comes from the same little town in the Czech Republic as I do. So this whole story is getting just too interesting. And for whatever reason, it becomes the source of my music inspiration. It becomes the heart of this project. You see, to make good music, you need a good story. Something that resonates with you on a deep, personal level. And it can be something you have experienced in your own life, but it can also be something that others have experienced. Just like when we watch films or read books, they're all stories with profound influence. They represent something incredible, going beyond boundaries, exploring and discovering the unknown, providing external motivation to our own life. So I have these piano chords here. I'm having fun playing around, but I like to add some orchestral elements, I want the orchestra to join the piano. It starts slow and quiet. It builds up, getting louder only to reach a certain point, and then it lowers down, getting softer again. Later I realized that those 2 piano chords have a strong symbolism in duality. When you go back to the moment of seeing Everest for the first time, you can poetically imagine a silent interaction happening between you and the mountain. You see the mountain and the mountain sees you. You take a breath, you inhale, you exhale. You go up the mountain, you go down the mountain. It's a story within a story, rooted in dualism. So that's why I chose 2 chords. As I was developing this melody, adding orchestra, I was thinking about what each instrument represents, and I figured the piano represents emotion. Something indescribable, something you need to experience yourself fully to understand. And as soon as you hear those two piano chords, you are moved. You kind of sense what's going on. You can feel it. We all have our own Everests. They are different size. They have different weather conditions. They have different elevation profiles. They are different stories, but they are united. They kind of reflect the same thing, human nature and our own individual journey. They are relatable. Later, I added some percussion, drums, representing that inner strength, the willpower of your character, facing this steep mountain right in front of you. I was wondering what kind of instrument should I add next. And then it happened. I knew that I need to include vocals. They are the human breath, representing the air and wind, the spirit floating around, the silent interaction between you and the mountain. So I reached out to Molly Ann. She's an amazing, wonderful, talented vocal artist from the United Kingdom. She recorded many fantastic articulations, which worked incredibly well with the music. Now the main theme sounds great. We have piano, orchestra, percussion, vocals. But something is still missing, and I cannot figure out what it is. I believe the track is missing the mystery of the mountains, the undiscovered future of yourself walking down the mountain with your newly acquired experience. Right? So, what instrument could possibly represent that? I found this amazing musician from Israel. His name is Ilya Mazia. He plays Armenian duduk. He sent me a few recorded tracks, and I knew instantly that this is exactly what I was looking for. Absolutely amazing. I got really lucky to be able to work with so many talented musicians on this album. And this is not even everything. We have cellos, we have violins, all played by real musicians from all around the world. So we have the piano, representing emotions. We have percussion, representing strength. We have vocals, representing the human spirit. And now we have the duduk, hiding the mystery of our own unique journey. I could talk for hours about this album. We only talked about the main theme, but as you see, the whole album is an expedition on its own. It's a whole complete story about our lives. It is endless in its own capacity of what it represents. So I will just leave the rest up to you. You can reflect your own story in this music. And I hope this album will guide you throughout your own journey, and that it will be the source of strength and inspiration. So enjoy this new music, and thank you so much for listening.